Hello and welcome to the May 3rd, 2012 edition of Newswatch. I'm Justin Rydens.
And I'm Cambry Benatua.
Coming up, find out about difficulties families in the local area are facing when it comes to health care.
Also, you may be seeing changes to the four-way stop at the West Interchange to I-90 in the future.
Plus, find out how a 21-year-old Central Washington University political science student is gaining experience in and outside the classroom.
All this and more coming up on Newswatch.
Unacceptable medical care has one Ellensburg Rehabilitation Center unable to accept new patients. With Kittitas Valley Health and Rehabilitation unable to accept patients, residents are moving outside Kittitas County to find rehabilitation centers. Newswatch reporter Hannah Dahl uncovers why KVHR stopped accepting patients and what they're doing to correct the deficiencies.
Health and Rehabilitation plans to fix the immediate jeopardy concerns stated in a recent survey. The concerns include mistreatment, neglect, significant medical errors, and unqualified staff, among others. KVHR, owned by Extendicare, recognized the concerns and stopped accepting patients in February. It was not until March 28th that the Department of Health and Human Services officially documented the deficiencies.
Kittitas Valley Health and Rehab can no longer accept new patients. And Royal Vista is at capacity. Now families are forced to send loved ones outside Kittitas County for care.
We have been placing people in the Yakima area and in Moses Lake based on needs and where maybe extended family lives.
One incident at Kittitas Valley Health and Rehabilitation recorded a patient suffering from diabetes among other acute medical issues. The licensed nurse obtained a blood sample from the resident's finger as his face was covered and his arm hanging down. She noted that his arm was cold. The LN failed to check the meal intake and to provide a meal replacement. While it was documented that the resident received insulin, the medication was actually given to his roommate. The resident was pronounced dead later that morning. Another incident documented a patient suffering from chronic airway obstruction. On the night of February 29, a nursing assistant noticed the woman suffering from labored breathing. The NA repeatedly asked the LN to administer the woman's respiratory treatment. When the resident was purple in color and yelling out, the NA went to the LN for the third time and was told, "I can't help." The resident was sent to the ER and medications were ordered. KVHR plans to correct all deficiencies by ensuring employee background checks, educating employees, implementing training programs, and reviewing changes of status daily, among others. KVHR's plan of correction could be fully implemented, and Medicare and Medicaid patients could be accepted as early as June 4. For Newswatch, I'm Hannah Dahl.
Van Moore, the temporary manager placed in KVHR along with 5 other staff members, will help implement the changes. This management is put in place to secure the safety of the residents and to assess if the building can succeed. If all corrections are made, the facility will be handed back to previous operators or handed to new staff.
Despite violent protests in Seattle, the protests in Yakima's May Day rally remained peaceful. Around 700 people showed up to protest for immigration rights and equality.
You need to buy from the Hispanic businesses first. And every time you go to a non-Hispanic businesses, I think you should ask them, do you believe in immigration reform? And if they say no, leave your things there and walk out. That's the way you play the game.
A ver, júntense para acá todos. Unida, jamás será vencido. En Heritage University.
Counter-protesters did show up at the rally with signs that read "Occupy Mexico," but still no violence broke out. The Yakima Police Department lined the streets around the protest just to ensure everyone remained safe. Ellensburg had a small protest on the Central Washington University campus that was put on by MECHA, the organization that focuses on higher education, political involvement, and rights for the Hispanic community.
Getting on and off I-90 may become easier to navigate in the near future. The Department of Transportation is researching ways to change the four-way stop at the west interchange to I-90. The two options under consideration are a large roundabout or traffic lights with expanded turn lanes. Officials say roundabouts require less maintenance, space, and can move more traffic. A signal system uses more electrical power and still requires vehicles to remain idle for short amounts of time. The changes will depend on funding, political backing, and the outcome of surveys. Inspections are their #1 priority for the preliminary stages. Officials are hoping for construction to start in 2014.
Public transportation offered by Central Transit can sometimes be a pain, especially with limited service hours and lack of availability. So the question is, what is being done to fix this? I decided to see for myself if anything was being done to remedy this issue. The success of the Yakima-Ellensburg commuter bus has inspired the city of Ellensburg to improve their current Central Transit system. The city currently is in the design and funding stage of the project. There is a survey being conducted on the city of Ellensburg's website that is the basis for the new transit system. The survey will determine where people go in the community and when these trips occur. A group of 14 people from public and private sectors will review the survey and present it to the City Council in August. Mayor Bruce Tabb says that they will have a clear sense of service hours within 30 to 45 days.
One Central student has taken the Washington Student Association's mandate to become more politically involved to a new level. He is a political science major using real-life situations for out-of-class experience. Newswatch reporter Katrina Hampton caught up with Pablo Gonzalez to see how he's bringing his education to life.
Meet Pablo Gonzalez.
De nuestro barrio de Yakima.
Pablo Gonzalez is a 21-year-old senior political science major at Central Washington University. As any other student would, Pablo follows his 2-year plan to ensure that he'll be ready to graduate next spring. Gonzalez is not only a dedicated student academically, but socially and politically as well.
Yeah, get pumped! Thank you for joining me. The day I wrote on here that it was beautiful, but it ended up being a little cold.
While many students behind me are eating lunch or talking with friends during the breaks in between classes, Pablo Gonzalez is on to his next interview. Why, you ask? Because he is running for state representative for the 15th district. The Associated Students of Central Washington University Board of Directors, who aim to motivate students to become more politically involved, appreciate Gonzalez's large-scale participation.
I think that it's fantastic whenever a student can represent this university on a larger scale besides just our local community and really take the needs and the concerns of these students to the statewide level, regardless of what political party they might support.
Gonzalez has comprised his campaign team of students. When Gonzalez approached senior graphic design major Rob Lent, he was eager to support his endeavors.
Came to me one day saying, "Hey, I'm running for 15th legislative district," and I was like, "I want in. I'll help you out, dude. And if money's tight or whatever, it's all good. We're all running towards. We're trying to get him elected."
Elections are scheduled for November, and Pablo Gonzalez's name will be on the ballot under state representatives.
Time has come to show Washington that we are united and have a voice, and the way to accomplish progress is to vote.
My name's Katrina Hampton, reporting for Newswatch.
Coming up on Newswatch, the fire on 12th and Delphine finally has a reported cause, and we'll tell you what it turned out to be.
Also, with the new liquor laws taking effect June 1st, what will be happening with our local liquor store?
All this and more coming up in 90 seconds.